Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Last time, we went over here into Ikana Canyon and seen what different things open up now with our new horse Epona, and we have learned about Captain Kita, who has wanted to put things to rest for a very long time to tell his soldiers the war has ended, but he sadly couldn't do it and left that task to us, giving us the Captain's Hat here. Now with the Captain's Hat, we can go ahead and talk to Style Children, because normally they would just try to attack us, but with the mask on, they don't do that. Huh? Ah, Captain, sir. Excuse me, sir. Everyone, give the Captain your attention. We haven't seen you in some time, Captain, sir. As per your orders, sir, we've been guarding these graves closely. We have all been expecting your next order, sir. What shall we do? Guard it or open it? Well, you guys have been guarding it for long enough. Captain said the war's ended, so I'm gonna assume that also means grave digging. Open it up. Open it? Yes, sir. Everyone, follow me. They can't question my decisions. I'm the captain. Would I really defile this grave for my own personal gain? Of course I will. Let's go. Now we're beneath the graveyard here in a little bit of an underground cavern system. So I'm gonna go ahead and break open these pots, which give me some arrows and some health. And we got a whole room of bad bats to deal with. That's a lot of bats. It's gonna take a bit to kill all these guys. I'm gonna make this one a little bit easier, and I'm gonna equip bomb shoes. I'm gonna backflip and blow up. Just kill all of them with that explosion radius. Make this a little bit better on me. Quick spins also work really well in this room too. You want to kill all the bats in here to spawn this chest. Spawning this chest will give you a 50 rupee. So it's not really that worth it, but I still recommend killing all the bats here because in order to actually open the door here in this area, we need to light all these torches. Trying to light these torches while the bats are attacking you is not an easy task, so I recommend just kill all the bad bats anyways, even if you don't need the money, because it's way easier than just trying to light the torches while fighting bats at the same time. This here is interesting. This seems like a new enemy, but at the same time, we don't know what it is. What happens if I poke it? Really bad things happen when you poke this thing. This is an iron knuckle. Stay away from its axe attack. Then look for a chance to retaliate. The nice thing about iron knuckles is that they are very slow. These guys hurt, but they're very, very sluggish. Once you take off their main armor, every hit will stun these guys for a minute, but they move way faster to balance this out. They take a little bit less damage now at this point because they're much weaker without their armor, but they're still very devastating, so be very, very careful while fighting iron knuckles. Are you the one who freed my soul? I serve the Ikana royal family. I am the composer called Flat. The songs connected to the royal family that remain here were all composed by my brother and I. Oh, Sharp, my dear brother. He sold his soul to the devil and was the one who locked me in here. You who do not fear the dead, learn well the song that is inscribed behind me. And if you ever meet my brother, I'd like you to inform him. The 1,000 years of raindrops summoned by my song are my tears. The thunder that strikes the earth is my anger. I have made my request. Well, that's a sad and tragic backstory. Let's see what his song is. 1,000 years of raindrops summoned by my song are my tears. The thunder that strikes the earth is my anger. Here is written the song that shall cleanse his cursed black soul. We have now remembered the Song of Storms, a song returning from Ocarina of Time. This melody that you've heard before is the turbulent tune that blows curses away. So now with this song in our arsenal, we have a song that can summon a heavy thunderstorm whenever we want, which is very convenient for us. So, now with this in arsenal, let's go ahead and get out of here. There's nothing else we can do here in this grave site, so let's just go ahead and make our way back to where we fell in, and we can just exit with the light above. Now, there's only one set of stall children here we can really interact with right now. The other ones here on the map, they just kind of have flavor text, but they won't open graves for us. These guys are kind of just chilling. Huh? Oh, Captain. Excuse me, sir. That's pretty much it. These guys are just a little surprised that you're here, but they don't really do anything or say anything else. I like this one, though. He's just kind of playing around the tree like it's a swing set. It's even weirder when you talk to him because he just kind of gets stuck in whatever position you talk to him in, and then he just kind of moves back and forth like that. So he's just kind of pelvic thrusting the air at this point. I don't know how that works, but yeah, that's just a little weird. So, before we leave, there's one more thing I want to go ahead and do, and that is outside here in the canyon area itself. So, heading back out into Ikana Canyon here, we have these enemies. We haven't seen these guys before. This is a blue bubble. Quick, run! Don't let it curse you. If it comes after you, defend yourself to block it. Well, what happens if you get cursed? Well, when you get cursed, you're jinxed, which means you can't draw your sword. So now we're defenseless. We can't use our sword to attack back. Or can we? With the Song of Storms, we now have a way to wash away that jinx, and now we can use our sword. Problem is, you get jinxed and immediately have that whole thing ruined for you. So just play the Song of Storms again, and removes the jinx again. Now we can use our sword, and we can kill these bubbles with no issues. An easier way to kill these guys is just shoot them from a distance with an arrow. Doesn't matter what arrow, any type of arrow will work. So now that we have ourselves the Song of Storms, we need to wait a while because there's another thing we need to do, and it's back at Romani Ranch. But we need to wait until 2 a.m. So I'll save you guys the waiting, and I'll meet you back at Romani Ranch at 2 in the morning. So while we're waiting for 2 in the morning to arrive here at Romani Ranch, there's something I want to go ahead and talk about, and it's specifically relating to the 3DS version. When you get Epona back, the game teaches you a new mechanic that is exclusive to the 3DS version of the game, called an alarm system. In the 3DS version of Majora's Mask, with how they changed the Bomber's Notebook system, you can now set alarms for tasks in the game, so that if there's a task that takes place at a very specific time, now you can make a reminder in the Bomber's Notebook to alarm you when that task is supposed to be happening. So with this said, you can go ahead and make an alarm for any specific task, but we'll be using the alien side quest here in Majora's Mask as an example. So we can go into our notebook and we can set any time we want as an alarm. The game recommends about an hour before you're supposed to actually be at this area for your set objective, so we'll set an alarm for 1 a.m. When it becomes 1 a.m. Majora's Mask, we'll be getting an alarm message from Tattle, telling us that, hey, isn't there somewhere you need to be right now? And with this alarm going off, that will remind you as the player that you need to go and do that said thing that you set this alarm for, which is really good for a lot of the time-sensitive quests that are in Majora's Mask. This makes things a lot easier on the player, and this is a good addition to the game, in my opinion. I'm glad this was added. It's 2 a.m. It's time. Romani has now come out of the house. Now we can go ahead and talk to her before we get started on our mission. It's almost time. You take care of things outside, Grasshopper. If you have a map, watch your map carefully. Okay, whatever happens, do not let them get into the barn. They'll come from behind the barn too, so watch out. If you run out of arrows, we have crates of them near the house, so stock up when you need to. And with that said, Romani's gonna go into the barn itself, and she's gonna go ahead and be prepared to fight in here. We can go ahead and talk to her one more time before the things actually get started. If you run out of arrows, we have crates out near in the house. Okay, yep, we have a feeling on that one. But let's just go ahead and get ready. So let's leave and be prepared for the swarm of aliens to come, if she's telling the truth. Looks like Romani was telling the truth. We got aliens. We try to go back into the barn. It's locked from the inside. Romani locks herself in with the cow, so it's only up to us. She won't be helping you here. And this dog also isn't very much of a help. Kind of. As you can see, we can't interact with this dog at all anymore. Mask of Truth will not work. We can't pick up the dog and talk. But that dog does tell you when an alien is close by to the barn, because it will bark at the direction of whatever alien is closest. So that dog is a little bit of an indicator. But as Romani said right before we got started here, if you have a mini-map, use it, because that is going to be the tool that you will want to use here to see how close aliens really are to the barn. So there's multiple ways that you can go ahead and handle this. I'm showing the way the game wants you to fight these aliens, which is to go around on Epona and then just shoot them moving around the field. I don't recommend doing this. It's not that it's hard or anything to do it that way, but I just find it much easier to snipe aliens from a distance in one centralized location, and I choose on top of this crate here next to the barn. This makes things a lot easier, in my opinion, to see where aliens are moving and how close they are to the barn. Doubly so since you're very close to the barn, which makes things a lot more convenient on you as the player. I also recommend doing this during standard time. Don't do this with the time slowed down, as aliens will move based on the time of day. So if you slow down the time of day, the aliens will also slow down too. While that does make things easier, it drags this quest out beyond belief. So use Inverted Song of Time here if you're having issues, but don't rely on Inverted Song of Time, because it's only going to make things, in my opinion, just a lot harder on you, because it's just going to be more and more time consuming, making this even more of a pressured situation if you do fail at the very last minute. We need to defend the barn only up to a certain time though, because we don't have to be doing this technically all night. The aliens did spawn at 2 a.m., but they will despawn here at 5:15 specifically. If you defend the barn all the way up to 5:15, the aliens will be destroyed from the morning sun, meaning that you have won and protected the ranch. We did it! We won. Thank you. Thanks to you, the cows are giving thanks too. Here's Romani's thanks. When you drink it, put your hand on your hip and take a big gulp like we do here at the ranch. For helping Romani, we get ourselves a milk bottle, which is very important to note because this is a new bottle for our inventory. So that makes 3. Or 4 bottles if you're playing the 3DS version. It's almost time for my sister to get up, so I have to get back to bed. See you later, little hero. You helped the ranch girl and saved the cows. That was added to your notebook. And with that, we have a new spawn point right here in front of the ranch. But there's something very important we need to ask. What happens if you let the aliens win? What happens if the aliens get to the barn before you can defeat any of them? Well, let's just say Romani isn't gonna have a great time. Remember how Romani locked herself inside of the barn to protect it? Unfortunately, the cows aren't the only thing the aliens will be getting if the aliens manage to succeed here. So if you fail trying to protect Romani Ranch here from the aliens, Romani also gets abducted by the aliens with the cows. This explains why she's so out of it at day 3 when you have access to this place without using powder kegs. Romani was kidnapped, and who knows what those aliens did to her, so she's traumatized and speechless because of it. Now we know why she is in a foggy state. It's because of the aliens, so that's some real big world building right there. You want to save Romani from being abducted from the aliens, not just the cows here. But now that we saved Romani's ranch here, we're going to go ahead and end things on that note. Next time on Let's Play Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, we'll go ahead and explore Romani Ranch now with the cows saved and see what's changed. I'll see you guys next time.